this Alto. The main difficulties that I face in Alto is the mileage and the petrol cost actually. So if I need to buy a car, it would be Tesla. So it just costs around $65,000. The main advantage of Tesla is that the efficiency, like the amount of power that you give in terms of money to the amount of mileage that it gives back. So that is really very efficient car in nowadays terms. So Tesla would be my dream car. So in that car, the main characteristics is the mileage and the power consumption. So Tesla, Elon Musk has made a very good improvement in the battery systems, and the battery is set to provide much more mileage than usual electric cars that has been coming up in the market. In case of a solar vehicle, the main disadvantage is that in the night time you can't take a solar vehicle outside. So that is the main disadvantage of a solar vehicle. But if the battery is made powerful enough, like in the daytime you can recharge the battery up to a certain level, so that in the night time it can run up to full power, like for 12 hours period. So that would be a great improvement in solar vehicles. Would like to buy, then I would suggest that there should be more and more electric power banks available in the nearby locality, just like a petrol bunk or LPG bunk, etc. So that is the main disadvantage in India actually, I think. So if the number of electrical recharge shops are increased day by day, then there would be more and more people willing to buy for electric vehicles. Apart from that, I don't think any other things are necessary. Like in a basic electric vehicle, there are around few main components like the battery, the motor, the control system, and the transmission system. So all these four are basically improved quite a lot in these recent years. And also they add on packages like safety features and other digital features like temperature control, climate control, etc. are all already available in electric vehicles. Apart from this, only the external feature like the electric fan that is required to match that. Should be around 2 to 3 lakhs. It should have the basic amenities and also the safety features, and the frequent maintenance for the vehicle should also be less. So that also plays an important role in buying and leasing. Apart from this, I don't think there are much to talk about the electric vehicles. But 2 to 3 lakhs is the main budget for every human in India. Using electric vehicle is somewhat disadvantageous because due to the day-to-day traffic which increases day by day, I think electric vehicles cannot be advantageous in that situation. I would think electric vehicles are much more efficient in highways, and electric vehicles can also be used for a day-to-day errands like going to a nearby shop, or going to the gym, going to the nearest playground, etc.
I drive a petrol powered car. It's a 1.2 liter petrol engine, and how I feel about driving it, well, it's not enough power, one thing, and the main problem is that the power is not delivered linearly in an internal combustion engine. Because of the characteristics of the engine, the power can be delivered either low down the rev range or high up the rev range or the mid range. So you don't really get an even power delivery when driving a petrol engine, and you have to change gears. And considering all the negatives, the fuel consumption, the maintenance, the number of parts, the weight, the effect on safety, I think the future is in electric powertrains. Whether the electric energy comes from solar or your hydrogen fuel cell, or directly from your wall outlet, I don't know. But I believe that in the future we'll be using electric motors, and electric motors as mobility for vehicles. The electric energy may come from your solar, your fuel cell, or directly from your wall outlet from a power station. But irrespective of the power source, I think it's going to be electric motors because they are much easier to modulate when driving on a day-to-day basis, the torque is delivered from 0 RPM and doesn't trail off till it reaches like 50% of the motor speed, and the fact that you can regenerate energy by just using the motor as a generator, so while decelerating. So considering these, I think electric motors are the future. Car would be, as I said, something powered by electric motors. Well, it should be, main thing, it should be safe, it should be spacious, it should be easy to maintain, and it shouldn't have compromises when it comes to the powertrain or the design, and such aspects can be seen in your modern day gasoline engine powered vehicles, where safety regulations and the fact that you have to accommodate a huge engine in the front or the back, and then so it affects the design and the safety constraints a lot. So in my future car, these shouldn't be any problem. These shouldn't be problems that customers should encounter. And another thing, I want range. I want to keep driving. I don't want it to be limited to city use. But in saying that, I believe there is a market for people who want to use their vehicles only in the city, because that's where we all live, and that's where we carry out our day-to-day business. So if the car is small enough to park and easy enough to drive and still powerful enough to get up to speed quickly from a stop sign or something, and that would be a really good concept for a car in the city. If it's used with your autonomous technologies, then it can basically be a feeder system to like the major routes. For example, if you have a bus stop, but the roads in your neighborhood are really small, then you can use these small electric cars to just run around from the bus stop to the houses in the neighborhood, ferrying people to and from. So for these routes, you don't really need that much of a range or a battery or a big battery, and it isn't going to you don't have the constraints of making people feel luxurious or anything. It's just a commute system. So for these, you can use your solar panels, for example, because once solar panels reach a good efficiency level, then they can just run around infinitely without having to charge. So I think that's a good idea. As far as affordability goes, the future car should be considering that technologies are developing really fast. We have gone from technological developments from decades to just 5 years to 10 years gap now. So I expect these renewable energy technologies become really cheap. Costs are being driven right down to the ground. So I don't think it should be really expensive. So if you're having an electric car and making it expensive in the future, maybe in 20 years, I don't think it's going to sell that much, because it doesn't have that first mover advantage. So it should be competitive in cost. For example, if it's a small car, then it should be like 5 to 10 lakh rupees. That's what I'm expecting from a solar car or a hybrid car or an electric car in the future. How should it develop? I mean, development of solar powered vehicles, for example, it entirely depends on the panel technology and how that's developing. And gladly, there is a lot of research going on in this field, and people are inventing new polymers and new compounds that absorb sunlight even when it is cloudy, and the coefficient of absorption is really high. So once the efficiency of the solar panel at least doubles from what it is now, it could be a really viable source in the future, especially for India, where it's sunny all the time and we get a lot of incident sunlight.
No, I don't have any job. Yes, I'm having a Santa as my dream car. Maybe the look and mileage. Yes, it's interesting. I'm very much waiting for the type of car. So, same as this petrol or diesel powered vehicle, but the cost should be economical, and the battery power should be more. Backup power should be more. Yes, I'm very much interested. Yeah, for a city ride, it is better. Automatic transmission is well and good if it is done. Right now, I hear that the battery backup power is a major problem in these types of enabled power car. So if it is improved or if it is suitable for running a vehicle for around 2 to 3 hours without any backup, then it is a very advantageous one. So if the price tag is within the limit of some 2 to 2.5 lakhs, it is welcoming sign for us. Yes, definitely. It is more suitable for our environment.